Sophia, we're going to begin with you. So if you could take a half a minute and introduce yourself and your kids and explain why you chose SSIS.
Sure, Katie. Hope you guys can hear me. Yes, Katie said, my name is Sophia. I was in your shoes about 5 years ago. We came from Singapore and we were looking for school for our 3 kids. And without a doubt, we chose SSIS because of many reasons. And I was just telling Katie that, you know, if I have 3 hours to spend with all of you to discuss how happy I am with SSIS and why I chose SSIS, that would maybe be enough. But yeah, we live in District 2 actually, but we came to the campus in District 7 and we were very impressed. And by talking to the staff and talking to the existing parents and the students then, we realized that the school is right for us because SSIS provides a more holistic approach to education. So sure, it's excellent in teaching all the academics, different things to different schools. So ES, they know how to teach ES kids, the younger kids really well. With MS, they know how to, teach them not only academics, but like character building. With high school, they've got a great counseling team, but only not just academics and getting grades on test results. They also focus on the students' their health, their emotional health, their physical health, how happy they are. So just a more balanced approach to education. So we're very happy with that. Our eldest daughter just went to college in Boston. So our second child, also daughter, she is currently in 10th grade and is very active at school. And we've got a 4th grader who is in elementary, and he leaves the house shortly after 7 because he wants to be the first one at school and he's so happy to be there. So I can't say more positive things about the school. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me.
Great. Well, Sophia, you might know this one. How long does it take to travel to SSIS from District 2?
Ooh, so yeah, the problem is it really varies. So initially we thought it'll take like half an hour, it'll get there, no problem. We have done that in Singapore before we came to Vietnam. But the problem is it's not consistent. So sometimes it would take more than an hour. Sometimes it's 45 minutes. So you don't know. And the problem is with after school activities, it is very far. So, and despite that, we decided to come to SSIS, even though we have a residence in District 2. So that just shows how much we value the school. And in fact, we now moved to District 7 because it's such a great school.
Cool. Simran, would you like to tell us a little bit about your experience? I think you have to unmute yourself, Simran.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Simran, and we moved to Ho Chi Minh City from Singapore also, but that was way back in year 2004. That time, we had 2 children. My son was only 4 years old, and we primarily chose Pumi Home for its wide roads, well-organized, planned, laid up, safe, secure environment. And SSIS was a choice because it was backed by then also and now also the best infrastructure of any international school we have seen in Ho Chi Minh City. So my son, as I mentioned, he was 4 years old when he joined SSIS and he graduated in 2018. He had a hearing disability and we never felt, or he never felt any different from any other child joining SSIS. Apart from academic excellence, there was balance in his life. He in fact he initiated a club called Hearing Vietnam in SSIS and under the leadership of Mr. Fosgreen. And till date, I guess he is so confident that now he is in NUS, that's the National University of Singapore, in Singapore. And he has started a club there called the Comedy Club. And so I guess this is actually a truly college preparatory school. So you can see, apart from academics, he can join the club also and started a club, in fact. And I would say, and this is the same child who in grade 10 was given extra English coaching because his English was not at par. And now he's teaching the children there, the students there, to write jokes. So that's really good part of SSIS. Our daughter joined SSIS when she was in grade EC3. That's the 3-year-old, and now she's in grade 11. She excels in swimming. She loves theater. We as parents were very hesitant when she wanted to choose fine arts and theater for her IB years. But I guess in the last couple of years, we have seen the importance and how the school teachers have really, made an effort. And so she is there now, joined theater in her IB years. We don't know what she will do in college, but that's so far. And what else? So during the COVID years, we were very blessed to be in SSIS. Things were running very smoothly education-wise. The payment terms for the fees also was very well, they were flexible with the terms. So we are happy parents. Back to you, Katie.
Thanks, Simran. Melissa, I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about your experience.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa, and we have one son in 3rd grade, and he has been attending SSIS for his 3rd year. We chose SSIS for a multitude of reasons. One of the main was already brought up, which was not-for-profit school. That was a huge factor because children are at the center of the decision making as far as, people aren't going to, it's not their best out of their interest, it's for the kids. So that was a major influence. Another were the facilities. The library, honestly, the access to all the libraries, middle school, elementary, and high school have fantastic libraries. The creative spaces and the outdoor areas were huge selling points for us. Our kid is very active, and in the early years, I also really appreciated more of the balanced approach to education, which includes not just academics, but their creativity and their physical well-being. And I think SSIS encompasses those values for us. So, and we're very happy with our choice, for sure.
Melissa, I wonder, does Harvey participate in any after-school activities? How does that work for him?
He does. He plays soccer. Originally, it was held on campus, but because of COVID protocols, it's off campus now. But he participates in soccer, which is not affiliated with SSIS per se, but all of his teammates do attend SSIS. So that's a great sort of, that was a great sort of, option for him as far as that community was already established, and we were able to find outlets outside of the SSIS community that could support his interests. Other things like yoga and taekwondo. I think the parental community is pretty connected. And if you're ever looking for insight or suggestions, everyone is more than willing to help as far as offer what has worked for their family or interests that their kids have, and sharing information just to get their kids involved. So
cool. Sophia, I was wondering if I could ask you a little bit about Justine's experiences in debate and sports.
Oh yeah, so my daughter actually spends a lot of time in sports and debate. She was, even in middle school and high school, she has been playing volleyball, basketball, and she was a swimmer. And I think the great thing about SSIS is that even if you're a beginner, they give you opportunities to develop your skills and potentially be a captain. So that's what's great about that. And also after school activities, there are a whole host of sports activities that you can choose from, starting from ES to, and up. But one other thing I would like to talk about is when SSIS joined the Southeast Asia Student Athletic Conference and became a member, we are part of this group where we can play sports with even more schools. So not just those in Vietnam, but our students used to go to Thailand and Singapore and other countries, Laos, to compete. And it's a great opportunity for children to meet other kids. And Justine even kept in touch with many of them. Now, besides sports, Justine is very involved in debating. Again, they start this debating club was relatively new, I guess, but they have been expanding so quickly, and they have they're participating in many international debates. So like this weekend, they are debating in a tournament that's organized by Harvard. And so I think it's the after school or the activities at SSIS in general is just limitless, because it's not just what's in the school, but we're able to reach out to various parts of the world.
Cool, thank you. Simran, you've been here for a really long time, so I wondered if you could tell our parents a little bit about the PTA and how it's evolved over the years.
So PTA stands for Parent Teacher Association, where the parent involvement is 95%. Like I would say that it's a lovely partnership with parents and teachers. If anybody has any concern, we get back to our country heads and who put up our concerns in front of the parents, in front of the administration and the teachers. And the problems, it's resolved. So it's best to talk out your problem if you're facing and then get it settled up. At the same time, PTA also is responsible or is lovely, takes care of the bazaar. We have charity bazaar, there's a sports day, the charity bazaar, then the international day, which is like super fun for the kids to enjoy and have fun at. Yeah,
and family fun day.
Yes.
Halloween, book fair.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think the list goes on and on of all the things that our PTA is involved in. I like to tell parents when they come in my office that the school will provide you all the things you need to have an amazing experience. The PTA is icing on the cake, and they provide all the things that are nice to have.
Yeah, it's a lovely parent involvement in the school where you can involve yourself and be volunteer for whatever activities you would like to.
We're more than a school, we're a community, right? I wanted to actually ask Tanya Olander. She works at the school, full disclosure, this year, but she was a parent at the school, left, and when they returned to Vietnam, she chose SSIS again. So Tanya, what made you come back to SSIS?
Well, let's put it like this. What made us come back to Vietnam? It was SSIS, to be honest with you. When we looked at coming back I was a parent at the school from 2012 to 2017. My son started here in EC3. It was the first time he went to school. And when we moved in 2017 to Shanghai, we were heartbroken to leave the school. I had been very involved in the PTA and a part of doing the bazaars and the family fun days, and really had found a wonderful community here. When we decided to come back to Vietnam, the first thing my husband said was, make sure that there is a spot at SSIS. So that is kind of how we went about our decision. Vietnam, we were not required to come back to Vietnam. We were looking for new opportunities and new things at that time, and we're kind of weighing the options. And we said, you know what? We actually said when we left Vietnam that we would be very, very happy to come back. And we came back once we found out that there was a position and that my son, who is now in grade 6, was able to come back to elementary school at SSIS. That was that weighed heavily into our decision to return to Saigon. So that's a little bit about my experience since then. As Katie said, full disclosure, since 2019, I have been working here at the school since we returned, but I do have 5 years of experience as being quote unquote, only a parent here, but a parent and fully involved in the community. And I find now, as well as working and being on the inside of the school is not as great as I thought it was. It's greater. So there is so much that is happening here at SSIS that makes me excited to be here. And one thing that I do also want to emphasize is the fact that what we looked at was that the quality of the offering and the programs and the clubs and the engagement isn't different. Although it's a different offering, it doesn't in quality or in the amount of offering, it doesn't change from division to division. It is continuous from elementary school through our middle school and on to our high school. And of course, as I see my son progressing here, that's exactly the opportunities that I wanted him to have. And if there's time for a tiny anecdote, may I tell you something? Okay, thank you. I wanted to share that my son in grade 5 came home and said, I have a meeting with Dr. Keller. Excuse me? I have a meeting with Dr. Keller, the principal. Well, yes, I know very well who Dr. Keller is. My son wanted to do a Rubik's Cube competition, or as he said, a cubing comp. So he wanted to do a Rubik's Cube competition. And he has, through SSIS, I would say, have the advocacy, and he knows how well he is supported by the school. So he went and set up an appointment on his own with Dr. Keller to discuss this comp and how he would set it up and the friends he was trying to get involved in this venture. So that is how I feel that the school has supported us as a family, my student or my child as a learner. And it's very exciting to see this growth, given that we carried him in on our hip when he started here in 2012.
Super. Thanks so much, Tanya. Did anyone else have any questions for our parents? Well, then I think, oh, here we go to Sophia. Did you move to D7 because you wanted to choose SSIS? Someone is living in D7 now, and they are researching many international schools in Ho Chi Minh City for their kids. If so, I want them to know the reason that brought you to choose SSIS instead of one of the international schools in D2.
Hi. So we actually have, we chose our house. We have a house in District 2, but we chose SSIS. So we have the house first. It's about the same time, but we realized that SSIS is so much better, superior than the other schools in District 2, that we didn't really think about the other, transferring back to District 2. I mean, transferring schools back to District 2, even though it was inconvenient for us. I feel that, so let me just say one school, I won't name any names, but one school, if I drive there, would be less than 30 seconds, but they have an IB program, which is not the best fit for our kids, the International Baccalaureate program. The other school, I believe, also offers IB. They didn't, at that time when our kids applied, it was 5 years ago. I feel that they don't really have a good separation between ES, MS, and high school. And at that time, our kids were very young. So I didn't, I prefer an environment like SSIS where the kids are separated. ES has their own playground and it's not to be mixed with more mature kids. Sorry, does that answer your question?
Perfect.
Okay, great.
So much. Does anyone else have any other questions? If not, I think we're going to move on to the next session. We'll do another, probably a 2-minute break right now. And